Your life at every level of the Great Depression. You are going to lose your job, your house, your savings, and your self-respect, in that order. And none of it will feel like it's really happening until it already has. By year 3, you will be waking up before dawn to stand in line at a church soup kitchen so your children can eat breakfast. Your son will stop going to school. Your wife will stop asking when things get better. The bank will take your last $32 and send you a letter about it. And the worst part is not the poverty. The worst part is what you become to survive it, and how long it stays with you after the money comes back. This is 1929. You have no idea what is coming. Level 1, October 1929, the last normal morning, Tuesday. You eat breakfast before your shift at the textile mill. Eggs, toast, coffee. Your wife packs your lunch. Your 2 kids argue about something at the table. You tell them to knock it off. The news from New York is bad. Stock market collapsing, billions gone in 2 days. But you don't own stocks. That's for people with money to spare, and you don't have money to spare. Your foreman tells everyone not to panic. Orders are solid. He's been here 22 years and never seen it close. You go to your station, you run your machine, you eat your lunch, you go home. Normal day. Last one for a long time. 3 years from now, you will be rationing bread by the slice and hiding $2 in your boot because you no longer trust banks with your money. You don't know that yet. Enjoy the eggs. Level 2, January 1930, the first cut. The order's slow in November. By December, you're on 4 days a week. By January, 3. The foreman hands out revised schedules without explaining anything and tells everyone to check the board each Sunday. You do the math. 3 days doesn't cover rent. Not even close. You start looking for second work immediately. Hardware store, rail yard, coal depot. Everyone is pulling from a list that stopped growing months ago. They take your name anyway. You thank them. You borrow $12 from your wife's father. He gives it without hesitating. You tell him you'll have it back by spring. February, 2 days. March. You show up and there's a handwritten sign on the door. Suspended operations until further notice. 38 men in the parking lot before 8 a.m. Nobody talks. You walk home. You still have savings. Enough for rent through summer, if you're careful. You tell your wife it's temporary. You mean it. Here is the question that starts today and does not stop. Can you keep this family fed? You don't know yet. You're about to find out. Level 3. Spring. 1930. What a man does. You spend April on the lists. Odd work turns up. A farmer needs help planting. A shopkeeper needs boxes moved. A neighbor wants fence posts dug. You take everything. You don't negotiate. You show up early and stay late and say thank you when they hand you almost nothing. You don't tell your wife what most of it pays. You just put it in the envelope and hand it over. May, you sell the radio. 40 cents on the dollar. Everyone is selling. June, the good winter coats. Then your wife's sewing machine. She packs it into the crate herself and doesn't cry, which is worse than if she had. You notice her shoes while she's doing it. The sole on the left one is starting to separate. You don't say anything because there's nothing that helps. You have been the one who handles money your entire marriage. That felt like a role. It is starting to feel like a failure. Your son asks if you're going to lose the house. You tell him no. You say it the way you'd say anything you need to be true. You are 3 months from losing the house. Level 4, summer 1930. The line. First Methodist runs a soup line on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You have walked past it for 6 months. Men standing quiet, holding tin pails, some from the mill. You told yourself you wouldn't need it. In July, you go. You arrive early so you won't see anyone you know. You see Gerald, who trained you on the loom in 1926. He's 6 people ahead. He nods. You nod. Neither of you speaks. There is nothing to say that doesn't make it worse. The soup is thin. The bread is 2 days old. You bring it home, and your wife puts it on the table without asking where it came from. She calls the kids in. She acts like it's dinner. That becomes Tuesday and Thursday. You find a Salvation Army kitchen on Mondays. You plan your week around soup kitchens now. You know which ones run out early. You know how far back in line is too far back. This is your job now. Finding food. The savings account has $60. 11 weeks at current burn. If nothing breaks, something is going to break. Level 5. Fall 1930. 6 people. Your wife's parents show up in September with 4 suitcases. Her father lost the hardware store in August. Bank called the loan after 19 years. They had 30 days out. She wrote and told them to come. You said yes without hesitating. You meant it. It is harder than you expected. 6 people, 2 bedrooms. The grandparents get the kids' room. Kids sleep on your floor. You and your wife take the couch on alternating nights. Her father is 61. He finds odd work inside a week and hands everything he earns directly to you. No discussion. That helps with money. What it doesn't help, there is nowhere to be angry in private. You are short with your wife. She is short with you. The kids are quiet in ways they never used to be. You are all performing fine for each other, and everyone can tell. You stop talking about the future, not because you gave up, because there is no point in planning past next month. The question shifts. Can you keep the family together? Not just fed, together, not falling apart at the seams. So far. For now. Level 6, winter, 1931, the bank takes it. March. 2 banks in the city fail in February. There are whispers about yours. You wait, hoping it stabilizes. By the time you join the line, it's Tuesday morning and 300 people had the same idea. 4 hours in line. The teller tells you withdrawals are capped at $10. Effective this morning. She says it quietly. She doesn't meet your eyes. You take the 10, you go home. 6 weeks later, the bank suspends operations. The remaining $32 are gone, no insurance, no process. You will never see that money again. You sit at the kitchen table after everyone is asleep. You do the math on a piece of paper. You fold it in half. Something changes in you that night. Not dramatically, you don't break down. You just decide, quietly, that you will never again trust a bank with money you cannot afford to lose. You don't say this out loud. You don't need to. You have been telling yourself you can hold the house. You cannot hold the house. Level 7. Spring 1931. Your son stops going to school. He comes to you in April. He's 12. The Dennison farm is hiring boys for planting, 30 cents a day. He says he wants to go. His eyes say he's already decided. You tell him school is more important. He leaves before sunrise the next morning, comes back at dusk with 30 cents and dirt to his elbows. Doesn't apologize. You don't punish him. You both know why. He goes back every morning after that. Your daughter is 9. She starts watching the neighbor's children for a nickel a week, gives it to her mother without being asked. You watch your kids become small workers in front of you, and you do nothing because there is nothing to do. You eat your soup, you say goodnight, you let it happen. The school sends a letter about absences. You don't write back. Here is what you think about instead. Your son is 12, and he has already figured out something you didn't know at 30. That no one is coming to help, and you have to go get it yourself. That should not be something a 12-year-old knows. Can you protect them from what this is doing to them? No, you cannot. Level 8, summer, 1931. Hooverville. The landlord gives you 2 extra weeks and helps carry furniture to the curb. He apologizes the whole time. You tell him it's all right. It isn't. There's a settlement on the south edge of town. Scrap lumber, flattened tin, tar paper, cardboard stuffed between boards. People call it Hooverville, after the president, which is not a compliment. You build a shelter over 3 days. Fence boards, corrugated tin, a door that's actually a section of fence gate. 1 room, 8 by 10, 6 people, no water. A shared well 40 yards away serving 200. A pit latrine you and 2 other men maintain because someone has to. Your father-in-law helps build every day. At night he reads his Bible by lamplight. A tin can with a wick. He is 62 years old, sleeping on a dirt floor, and he does not say one word about it. Your son walks an hour each way to the Dennison farm. He has been doing this for 4 months. He does not complain either. The women in the settlement trade food scraps, share soap, help each other stretch things. They have a system. They built it without being asked. You are living in a shack, and somehow everyone is still showing up. You stop asking when it ends. You just ask, can we get through this week? Level 9, Fall 1931. The line you almost cross. A man from the breadline mentions a warehouse on the east side, copper pipe, unsecured. He says it quietly, looking at the ground. He's not asking you to go. He's just saying. You think about it for 3 days. You don't go. But you think about it, which means something. 2 years ago, you would not have thought about it for 3 seconds. Now, you run the numbers. How much copper, what it sells for, whether anyone would see you. And the only reason you don't go is because you can't risk the job you just got. Coal Depot, October, 12-hour shifts, 6 days, $1.50 a day. Hardest work you've ever done. You are 34. You feel 60. You take home $9 a week. You keep $2 in cash inside your boot at all times. Not in your wallet, not in a bank. On your body, where no one can take it without taking you first. You will do this for the rest of your life. Can you keep your morals? Mostly. But the line moved. You know where it is now, and it is not where it used to be. Level 10, 1933. More mouths, same amount of food. The migrants start coming through in spring, and they don't stop. Families off flat cars with everything roped to whatever they could carry. Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas. Farms buried under their own dirt. They land in your town, stand at the same depot tap, sleep in the same Hooverville, get in line at the same church kitchen. The bread line doubles in 2 weeks, then doubles again. On a Thursday, the church runs out of bread. You go home with half a pail of soup. Your daughter is 10. She doesn't complain. At the depot, men start showing before dawn to hold their spot in the day labor line. You start doing the same. One morning, you arrive at 4 a.m., and there are 11 men ahead of you. 3 came in on last night's train. You keep your job, barely. Food prices go up. Your $9 buys less than it did in January. You start adding more water to the soup at home. Your wife notices and starts doing it before you can. You don't talk about it. You both just do it. You have not bought anything that wasn't food or rent in over a year. Not one thing. The idea of spending money on something you don't need to survive has become genuinely strange to you. Can you hold on long enough for something to change? You don't know, but you have no other plan. Level 11, 1934 to 35. The grind. Nobody talks about 1934 and 1935. Not later, not in the history books. Those years don't have a name. They're just the middle, the part where nothing collapses and nothing recovers, and you get up every morning and do it again. You are still at the depot, still 12 hours, 6 days, $9 a week, still arriving before dawn to hold your spot, still adding water to the soup. Your son is 15. He has not been inside a school in 3 years. He works the Denison farm in planting season and finds other work in the off months, hauling, stacking, whatever someone will pay him for. He is good at it. He does not talk about what he wanted to be before this. Your daughter is 12. She keeps the younger kids in the settlement occupied for a nickel a week. She has started keeping a small notebook where she tracks which families have what, who has soap, who needs flour, who got work this week. She runs it like a ledger. Nobody asked her to. Your wife has not bought a single thing for herself in 4 years. Not clothes, not shoes, not anything. You notice and don't say anything, because saying something would make her feel seen in a way that might break something open. Some weeks are exactly like the week before, and the week before that. You stop counting how long it's been. You just work. Can you hold on long enough for something to change? Still the same question. Still no answer. Level 12, 1936. The exhale you shouldn't have taken. By 1936, things are better. Not good, but better in a way you can feel. The government puts men to work. Roads, bridges, schools. The bread line is shorter. Men stand in it differently. Your son, 17 now, gets into a work camp in Pennsylvania. Planting trees, $8 a month. He sends it all home, except 2. His letters sound like a grown man's. You read them twice and put them in a drawer. Your daughter goes back to school. You move the family out of the Hooverville into a rented room. 1 room, but it has a floor and a door that locks. Your father-in-law carries his suitcase in and cries when he thinks you're not looking. He lost his store, his apartment, his savings, and his footing, and he never once made you feel it, and now there's a door that locks. You let yourself exhale for the first time in 6 years. Then, 1937 arrives and the government cuts spending. By fall, unemployment is climbing again. Fast. The jobs that came back start disappearing. Men who thought they were through it find themselves back at the breadline. You keep the depot job, barely, but you watch men around you lose years of ground in months. You stop exhaling. Here is what 1937 takes from you that 1929 didn't: the ability to believe good news. From this point forward, when things improve, you wait. You don't celebrate. You don't plan. You wait for the other shoe. You will wait for the rest of your life. Level 13, 1938. Building a new kind of floor. The programs don't fix everything, but they change what the bottom looks like. Bank deposits are insured now. What happened to your $32 can't happen the same way again. There are rules, there is oversight. Too late for you. But it's there. Your son comes home from the work camp. 19. Gets a job at the rail yard in a week. He is good with his hands, doesn't complain, shows up early and stays late. You watched him build those habits at 12 in a farmer's field for 30 cents a day. He gives you money every week. You argue about it. You take it. Your daughter wants to study nursing. You start planning more than 1 month ahead. It feels unfamiliar, like driving on ice. You don't fully trust the surface under you, but you keep going. You have been poor long enough that you have forgotten what security feels like from the inside. You know what it looks like. You can perform it, but you don't feel it. You keep the $2 in your boot anyway. Level 14. December 1941. The war ends it. Pearl Harbor. Sunday. By Monday, the country is different in every practical way. The government is buying everything: steel, uniforms, fuel, canvas, ammunition. Mills reopen. Rail yards run 3 shifts. Factories that went dark in 1931 are suddenly hiring. Unemployment craters. The jobs come back because the country needs to build fast and the cost doesn't matter. You go back to the mill. Foreman now. You hire men off the same list you used to put your own name on. Some of them stood in line with you at First Methodist. You don't mention it. They don't mention it. Your son enlists. He's 24. You shake his hand at the train station. Your wife holds on too long, and he lets her. You don't sleep well for 2 years. Different reason than before. The money is back. The work is back. The depression is not back, but it is not gone either. Level 15, 1945. What stays? Your son comes home. He's quieter than when he left. You saw that same look on men after the Depression, too. You don't push him on it. The country booms. GI Bill. New houses in new neighborhoods. Grocery stores full. Cars in driveways. You watch it all and still wait for something to go wrong. You eat everything on your plate. You check your wallet before agreeing to anything. You wake up at 4 a.m. sometimes and run numbers in your head from habit, even when the numbers are fine. Your wife keeps a box of canned goods in the back of the closet. She's kept it since 1931. You don't say anything about it. You added to it last month. Your daughter finishes nursing school. First in the family to go to school past 16. You pay the bill without blinking and still feel something close to disbelief that you can. You keep cash in the house, not in the bank, in the house where you can see it. You cannot throw food away. You cannot watch anyone waste money without your chest tightening. You cannot hear the word bank in a worried tone without your body going somewhere it hasn't needed to go in years. Your grandchildren will think these are quirks. They are not quirks. They are what happens when you lose everything once and spend the rest of your life making sure it never happens again. The depression didn't end. It moved inside you.